YouTube Estacado 5000 here. What's up? Here's another retro deck profile. This is my second version of Dad Return from the 2008 format. So here we go. We got free Dark Arm Dragons. Basically, you know what they do. When you have exactly free Dark Attribute monsters in your graveyard, you can special summon this from your hand to the field, and you can remove one Dark Attribute monster from your graveyard from play to destroy one card on the field. So it's a really great card, one of the best cards ever made. So then you got Dark Lord Zerato. What this card does is if you have 4 more dark monsters with different names, I believe, you could tribute summon one monster to special summon this guy. And its effect's pretty interesting. You can discard one dark attribute monster from your hand to destroy all monsters in your opponent's field. And at the end phase of the turn you activated this effect, this card is sent to the graveyard. But it's a really good card. It can clear the fields like a Raigeki against your opponent by discarding a dark attribute monster from your hand. So it's really good to get stuff like if you had a Dark Magician of Chaos in your hand, you could just pitch it to the graveyard to destroy monsters on the field, and you can play Monster Reborn to revive it, then bring back a spell card from your graveyard to your hand. So it's a lot of combos you can pull off with this card. And it's also good if you discard this commander, and then you can use Premature Burial, Monster Reborn, and bring back this commander and draw 2 cards. So, one Dark Magician of Chaos. Basically, this is one of the best cards in Dad Return builds. What this does is when this is summoned, you can bring back one spell card from your hand, from your graveyard to your hand. And its other effect is every time it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, it gets banished instead of going to the graveyard. So this is a good way to get rid of annoying cards like Treeborn Frog and their own Disc Commander if you play in a mirror match. It's a really good card. And this is also good with Dasher in the graveyard, because with Dasher in the graveyard, you draw this, you can reveal it, and normal summon it without tribute. Special summon it without tribute. It's really cool. There's a lot of combos you can pull off with that card. And it's also good with combination with Escape from the Dark Dimension, Dimension Fusion, and Return from the Dimension. One Jinzo, you know what it does? It negates trap cards, and when this is on the field, it negates the effect of Escape from the Dark Dimension. When that card itself is destroyed, the monster that it was equipped with gets banished. But with Jinzo's effect, it's immune to it. Then you got the 2 Destiny Hero Dashers, and you got the Fearmonger and the Disc Commander. So that's the D Hero engine. What this does is, when this is on the field, you contribute one other monster on your field, and this card gains 1,000 attack points until the end of the battle phase, but it goes into defense mode at the end of the battle phase. And when this is in the graveyard, when you draw in your draw phase, if you draw a monster, you can reveal it to your opponent and normal summon it to the field, and summon it to the field without tribute. Basically, a monster that can be normal summoned or set. Like, you can't use this effect for a Dark Arm Dragon, obviously. And this effect can only be used one time when it's in the graveyard, so it's a pretty good card. And Fearmonger, this is mainly used to bring back either, I believe, either Dasher from the graveyard or Disc Commander. Mainly, you would use this to bring back Disc Commander from your graveyard, and you could draw 2 cards when it's special summoned from the graveyard. So, yeah, self-explanatory. Disc Commander is a really good monster back then. Although it's limited to 1 now, its effect's pretty different now. You can only use the draw 2 effect once per duel, which kind of stinks, obviously. You got 1 Elemental Hero Stratos. It searches out your Dasher, your Fearmonger, your Disc Commander. And also, its other effect is for each Elemental Hero monster or Destiny Hero monster you have on your side of the field, when it's summoned, you can destroy a number of spell and trap cards equal to it, except itself, obviously. Then you got the 2 Armageddon Knights. Basically, this is one of the main key cards in the build that gets your it's your setup to get Dark Arm on the field. Basically, when this is summoned, you can send 1 Dark Attribute monster from your deck to the graveyard. So it's a lot of ways to dump, like Dasher, Disc Commander, or even a Dark Lord Zerato, and then you can use Monster Reborn to bring back the monster you just discarded. So there's a lot of combos you can pull off with this card. And you got the Strike Ninja and the Prometheus, King of the Shadows. Now, what this card basically does, this is basically a setup for the cards such as Dimension Fusion, Escape from the Dark Dimension, and Return from the Dimension. Basically, when this is on the field, you can during either player's turn, you can remove 2 Dark Attribute monsters from your graveyard to banish this card, and then it comes back at your main phase, I believe, or whatever. So it's a good way to, like, if you have too many Dark Attribute monsters in your graveyard, like more than 3, and you can't really summon Dark Arm, this can help you clear the dark monsters in the graveyard and use it for food for escape from the different dimension, dimension fusion, return from the different dimension. Same thing with Prometheus, but Prometheus' effect is you can banish any amount of dark attribute monsters from your graveyard, and this card gains 200 attack points for each one until the end of the turn you summon this card, normal summon this card. So it's a really good card back then. You got Snipe Hunter, Sangan, and DD Crow, basically. So those are like self-explanatory. Snipe Hunter allows you to destroy one card in your opponent's field by discarding one card from your hand, and you roll a 6-sided die. If you get a 2, 3, 4, or 5, that card gets destroyed. Sangan allows you to search out a monster with 1500 attack or less. Like you can get like a Snipe Hunter, a Fearmonger, Disc Commander, or Armageddon Knight. And DD Crow allows you to banish one card from your opponent's graveyard from play. Now for the spell cards, you got free Allure Darknesses and free Destiny Draw. So basically, these are the main draw cards in the build. This allows you to draw 2 cards and banish one dark attribute monster from your hand. If you don't have a dark attribute monster in your hand after you activate this card, you discard your entire hand. Destiny Draw, you discard a Destiny Hero monster to draw 2 cards. And the other spell card you got is 2 Reinforcements in the Army. Allows you to search out your Armageddon Knight and Destiny Hero Disc Commander and your Stratos. There's a lot of options. Dimension Fusion. Basically, you pay 2,000 light points. You special summon as many banished monsters in your graveyard as does your from play and summon them to the field as does your opponent. Then you got Enemy Controller, Premature Burial, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, and Mystical Space Typhoon. Now for the spell cards, you got 2 Return from the Different Dimension and 1 Escape from the Dark Dimension. Basically, you know what they do. They basically bring back your monsters that were banished from play and special summon them. So it's a really good combo for an OTK. Then you got Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute, Trap Dust Shoot, Raigeki Break, and Dust Tornado. So that's the build. Hope you all enjoy. More videos coming soon. Comment and subscribe. Later, guys.